Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, this video is gonna be about Nirvana. Well, sorry for that stupid joke. No, actually it's gonna be about this record, Death Magnetic by Metallica, which was released in 2008. And thank you very much for the suggestion, which I put up, I think here, maybe? Without further ado, let's start talking about the album, shall we? But for starters, I have to say every song in this album is about 7 minutes long, so if I show you my opinion on every song very detailed, this video is gonna be about 30 minutes long. So I'm trying to point out what I like about songs and what I don't like about songs, and hopefully you could share your opinion with me in the comments below. And again, thanks for writing a suggestion in last week's episode. This is basically what this channel is gonna be about in the future, knowing about your favorite records, listening to them, and then maybe give you guys a little bit of feedback and we have a discussion. So that was really it with the pre-talk, nothing more. Let's start about the record. The LP starts with the song That Was Just Your Life, and the song starts pretty evil, and there's a cool change from acoustic to electric within the song, and the riff is also cool, so that is pretty good to point out. I also really enjoy the part where he goes like, "I blind my eyes, da 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 da." Thanks Maxi for that one. And but I think at some points the lyrics really don't fit to the instrumental that good, so that's kind of an issue with song 1. Kirk solo in the song, yeah, you heard right, there's a solo in it, unlike in Saint Anger. Well, nobody knows why they didn't do it, but in fact they could spare that one, because I mean it's fast, of course, and it's wah-wah and it's cool, but in my opinion, in comparison to older solos by him, it just really isn't that good. It's like if here you go, you got solo, you wanted solos, here you got a solo, shut up. Also in the end the guitar sounds like a fanfare, which is pretty cool, but overall the song is solid but nothing too special at all. Song number 2 is called The End of the Line and is basically an old school metal song. In the end there is a rather quiet part which goes into this really powerful ending, which was really cool in my opinion, but I think Kirk absolutely butchered the guitar solo on this one. I think he sounds like a bit of a drunk Tom Morello, so I don't know what that was about, but overall the song is cool, but the solo is just, I don't know what he did there. Probably wouldn't know by himself really if you ask him by now. Song number 3 in my opinion is basically the weakest song on the record. It's called Beaten, Broken and Scarred, I think. Broken, Beat and Scarred, and I don't know, if I don't like the first riff of a song in a metal song, which is really kind of the foundation of the song, it has to got something to it to make me like it, but really this one hasn't got anything at all in my opinion. And I also don't like the lyrics. James is going like, "What don't kill you make you stronger," and that kind of thing, and I think this theme in songs is so overused, and yeah, I don't know, it seems like it's a fill-up song to make the record complete, I guess, but I don't really like it. So in my opinion, it's the weakest song of the album. But not everything about it is bad, really. I think at 3 minutes 50 there is a riff which is really groovy and really cool. So I don't know why they haven't created an image about that riff in the song in the first place. But overall, also the solo, everything seems a bit mediocre. And it seems like somebody's pulled the plug out of 80s Kirk Hammett. So he tries to make a powerful solo like he did on the first 3 albums, but in the end it just, I don't know, I think it doesn't sound right. Song number 4 is called The Day That Never Comes, and I really like this one. Especially in comparison to the first 3 songs, this one is really great, because it really creates, I think, a classic Metallica image with an undistorted intro in a song and building up and going crazy at the end. So that is always amazing in my opinion. These are always the best songs of the albums. I wonder why James sings this song so nasal. If he would sing it like in the 80s, like powerful, or maybe like on Tuesday's Gone, or the Bob Seger song, Turn the Page, this one would be absolutely mind-blowing and the best song of the record, but I reckon this is the second best. In my opinion, it's the second best song. Of course, they're lacking a bit of power, or James lacks a bit of power in his voice, but he's not 20 anymore, so I think that's okay. And I think the feeling or the vibe in this song and also the lyrics are very cool. And finally, hey, what's going on? Kirk Hammett's made a pretty cool guitar solo, kind of Iron Maiden-ish. I really like that one. That was a really good one, guys, so keep going. And they did keep going. The last song of record 1 is probably the best song of the whole album. It's called All Nightmare Long. And here my age argument with the guys being like 45 and maybe being too old to make thrash metal music seems kind of ridiculous, because this song is absolutely powerful. very heavily distorted and sounds pretty fresh actually, because it got this industrial vibe to it. The intro, for example, it's so evil and fast, and then it transitions to a rather catchy chorus, which you can also play on the radio maybe, and then it goes back to this evil kind of theme or vibe. So yeah, pretty contrast-free. I don't know if you can say that word. I'm not a native. But yeah, I think it's a really good tune to close off record 1. Even though I'm more of an old-fashioned metal fan, so for me, I think with Pantera in 1991, this was the last metal album I really listened to and I really liked. But this, you have to appreciate that these guys don't just play the same music over and over again like other bands did, but try to create something new. So yeah, I think this was really kind of a cool song, and maybe the only song you can listen to, or maybe I would listen to when I don't know, driving my car, or I would lay on, because the rest of it it's good, but I like the old stuff more, so I probably would grab Ride the Lightning or Master of Puppets rather than a Death Magnetic. But with the exception of song 3, I think the first two sides of the record were pretty good, and especially song 4 and 5 were pretty amazing, really, because of this interesting mix of two generations of metal. So yeah, I think that was kind of cool actually, because I once listened to it and I didn't know what to say about it, but because of this suggestion I gave it another try and I started to appreciate things a bit more. The third side of the record starts with one of the songs that absolutely killed me on Guitar Hero Metallica, which I played when I was, I think, 8 or 9, I think then it came out in 2008, I guess. It was so hard to play, so probably because of that I'm not a fan of it. But actually it's kind of good. It starts with a pretty cool riff, and also the chorus is really amazing, where he goes like, "Suicide, I already died, da 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 da." Yeah, I probably have to stop the singing the parts the singer sings, because it's absolutely horrible. The verse though isn't really much of my thing. I think everything sounds a bit mushy and kind of difficult to listen to, really. Unforgiving 3 is a pretty good song, with this pretty epic sounding like intro of it, and then it also builds up to this distorted guitar, and in the end this noodling kind of guitar solo, which I really like. I also think the lyrics are pretty cool, because it's got this piratey kind of thing, which is also kind of interesting. But I think it's sad that James doesn't sing like he sang on Garage Inc. when he did the acoustic numbers, like when he did Tuesday's Gone or Turn the Page, as I mentioned earlier, because this voice he used there was so much better, so much deeper. In this song he's like, oops, I did it again. But for you to know what I mean, or what I don't like about it, because the song overall is good, but if you just use that voice, it would be way better, and probably the best song of the album. For Judas Kiss, I don't have that much to say about it, really. I like the bow down part in the lyrics, where everything goes like a bit fast, but then it's bow down, then it's wah-wah pedal noodling, then it's bow down again, then it's wah-wah pedal noodling. So the way the song is constructed is just repetitive, and I don't know. It's better than Broken Beat, Scarred, Beaten, Broken, Scarred, I don't know. But yeah, one of the weaker ones. Solid, but difficult one, really. Especially after something more of a bombastic kind of theme like Unforgiven, this one is rather underwhelming. With Suicide and Redemption, I think they did something which was rather cool. They sort of did something they did in the old days, where the second to last song is an instrumental one, like Orion. And I think the sound of it is pretty cool. You hear lots of bass guitar, lots of lead and rhythm guitar. They're all coming in the middle of the song. It's like, on the left speaker you hear the rhythm guitar, then the lead guitar comes in, so pretty full sounding wise, so rather good song. And this is the longest song, I think it's 9 minutes 50. But overall, when I listen to the record, everything seems kind of like shorter really than it sounds like. The record is about 75 minutes long, but I really enjoyed it overall. And to close off the record, they chose the song My Apocalypse, which is a super fast tune and super heavy, and I think this was a really good choice, and overall I like this song really much. because everything is heavy and also the soloing is extremely cool. This is totally like 80s Kirk Hammett, so there you go, Hammett. This one was absolutely amazing, and a great way to finish off a rather cool record, really. It was overall, it was just something different, I guess, and I enjoyed it. And finally, after about 73 minutes of music, finally the words Death Magnetic fall. So you know why the album is called like that. I always like it when there isn't a title song, but it's just somewhere in between the lyrics, so you have to find out why it's called like that, so that's pretty cool. And overall, I have to say about this album, after Sand Anger was a completely utter disaster, but maybe if you guys want it, I'm gonna listen to it again. But when I heard it first, I heard 3 songs and I immediately put it out because I expected something else from Metallica, and this was just, I don't know what to say. It was so boring that I hated the sound. Maybe 2021 Maxwell is gonna like it, but 2016 really didn't. But let's stop talking about Sand Anger and start talking about Death Magnetic. I really liked the way they mixed the industrial metal kind of vibe with the thrash metal thing. This was super cool and was technically all well played and stuff, but I think this song lacks the songs, as I said earlier, which you really want to hear. Like you want to hear, I don't know, Battery or What Is It, What Shouldn't Be, or Sanitarium, stuff like that. Hit the Lights. I think this song lacks a bit of the bangers, you know. But overall, the concept of the album is pretty cool. And what I also have to say about it, because it is so extremely heavy and so distorted, I think you really have to be in the mood for this. If you've got a sunshiny day outside, I think it's probably not the right record. But I recorded this on a rather mixed weather. It was raining outside, so this heavy kind of vibe these 4 guys put into the record were pretty good, pretty fitting, and yeah, in comparison to the first 3, it's not that good, but if it wouldn't be by Metallica and it was made by a newcomer band, I think the overall reception of the record would be much better, and also mine, but I expected something else because it was from Metallica, so yeah, I think that is something which is pretty difficult for the whole album, really, because for me, they just could do stuff like yeah, I said it for the millionth time, I think, just like the first 3 albums, do it over and over again, a bit like this AC/DC kind of vibe, where every year comes out a new record and they're all basically sounding the same. I really liked it. But there is just some lack of dynamic in this one, especially in the recording. It sounds heavy, but I think there could be more acoustic stuff into it, and maybe a bit more of this cool mixture between past metal and modern metal. So yeah, that's my point of view. So even though it isn't a complete recommendation from me to listen to it, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up or write down suggestions in the comments below, like every week. And yeah, see you guys next week. Goodbye.